Western mentality is like absolutely insane. They're adversarial, like we just covered earlier in the stream. They expect a princess treatment somehow. It's like you're a witch at best, dude. You're a gremlin. Let's get the gremlin treatment. I don't know. Men start having this attitude of like being a reflective mirror. The energy women give you and put in, like give that shit back. Reflect it back. They treat you like shit. They treat you like a fan. Treat them the same way. I think a lot of men would have a much better life. This happy wife, happy life shit is so stupid. It has Disney conditioning. Happy wife, happy life. Okay, happy husband, happy life. Okay, you got a problem, bitch? I got a problem now. Okay, so now we both have a problem. Well, you don't want to come talk? I'm not talking either. Just reflect the energy. And watch how quickly your relationship will either degrade or get fixed. It's one or two things. She's either going to care or she doesn't. That's it, dude. When you stop being that guy that's like Mr. Fix-It, you stop being the dude that has to placate her all the time. You're the one that's always making jokes, diffusing situations, diffusing all the bombs. And fuck that, dude. It's tiring. It's tiring.
Your idea won't work, though. All the breeder visa chicks will simply be scooped up by the top 1% as they do now. Hypergamy, social media make assess easy.
No, you can't. Think about it. If the breeder visa means in 6 to 12 months you have to be married, you're going to have to get married to any guy, a guy. And that means, and if you get divorced within 20 years, you lose your breeder visa and you get kicked out of the country. Oh, bro, we are securing wives for everybody. Listen, if I was president, that's what I would do. I'm telling you, I'm making America fertile again. It's game over. Every man here would be married. Every man here would be shielded from divorce for at least 20 years. And 20 years is a good run. If she left you after 20, you already got kids. They're already out of the house. You don't really have child support to pay. And you're good to go. Think about that shit. 20 years. America's population would explode. We got 1 billion people. The economy would be rocking. We just have to solve housing. That's it. We have to solve housing and jobs. In the AI world, I don't know how to solve jobs. I can solve your problem with bitches, though. But I don't know how to solve the job issue here, though. That's something else. I'm going to need a good team around me for that one.
Hey, to each their own. But for regular guys, the working class man,
you'd have to get one wife. 2 maximum. 2 maximum. I'd grant you 2 wives maximum in the post-AI world. I don't think that's being greedy, right?
Marriage is like quicksand, You just see.
What man wouldn't, it's a wife plus concubine, but we'll officialize it. The wife, it'd just be 2 wives. You just have 2 wives, 2 bitches, 2 headaches, 2 problems solved all day, every day. That's more than enough for any man. 4 is pushing it, bro. Calm down. 4 is pushing it. Maybe we can have it tiered. If you want 4 wives, you got to make a certain amount a year because we can't have you dependent on the state. Like if you can support 4, okay, and then you're gonna have to sponsor the visa for the extra 2. There's workarounds here, so it's optional. Every man gets 2 wives, but if you want an extra 2, you're gonna have to be able to afford it, and you gotta out of your own pocket pay for them to come over. We don't give them the breeder visa for just applying for free because they're hot. You now have to go sponsor them and bring them over, pay for the flights, all that stuff. So great. Your dick will fall. 4 wives is more than enough. You're gonna be well out of juice. You're gonna be exhausted. God shit. 4 hens pecking at you all day. You guys understand how fucking exhausting that shit will be. You're asking for like fucking 72 birds on black. Dude, you want more than fucking 2 women already than 4? Holy shit.
Lower and lower, not just financially, but mentally.
Yeah, you just imagine your life. You're gonna be sitting there in your own house. And you had 4 of them at the same time. 4 of them. And you throw in a bunch of screaming kids too. It's pandemonium in the fucking house. Simultaneously, you'll feel like the luckiest man alive and also the most cursed man alive. They're ganged up on you. That's what the chickens do, bro. You gotta lay it down like the rooster, but you're still getting ganged up on. You beat your wife in a separate house. Holy shit, bro. We need to make housing more affordable. You now need 4 houses. You're insane.
If you're emotionally attached to her, if she's not happy, you're not gonna be happy. You know what I'm saying? Your life becomes a series of obstacle courses. resources.
Mr. Wife, yeah.
As soon as you walk through the door, a lot of y'all don't even want to go in the house. Admit it. You get home, if you go straight home, and you make up reasons not to go. The car need washing again the third time today. Or we need something from the grocery store, even though we stopped. You're walking aimlessly around the grocery store just in the days. Then you creep up in the driveway, shut the engine off, and you sit there. You contemplate, you're thinking, because once you walk in that door, it becomes an emotional and psychological battlefield. And I found that a lot of women now, nothing appeases women now. I mean, in the beginning, when it's all fresh and new, But see, women are actually masters of role playing. You find in the beginning stages, and a lot of young men that are married, I know it's true. She's not the person that you dated. In the early, segment of your relationship, she was almost completely different. You know what I'm saying? Happy, laughing, smiling. The little corny jokes you made, she laughed at them. You know what I'm saying? She encouraged you. Whatever your goals and ambitions were, she encouraged them, and this is the one. Man, where have you been all my life? A year later.
Yeah, but because you got soft, you have to lay it down, bro. You have to lay down the long dick of the law. Like, I said this before, that relationships are dictatorships, and people were losing their fucking minds at that. But it's true. That's just really what it is. You have to be the same dude she met and then improve it. And what happens in a relationship, once you start melding your identity and once you start, absolving yourself of the duties because you give her more and more power in the relationship, it's like when that shit starts. Yeah. Lay it down, dick her down, and then this is the law. It's my way or the highway. And but you have to, that boundary, dude, has to be like the Great Wall of China. There is no penetrating that. The moment she does, she just runs wild. She's like the fucking Mongols. She just comes into the countryside, slaughters everything, every village. All the food is taken, all the animals. That's what she does. That's her job. Her job is to get past the Great Wall of China, which is your masculine frame. And every guy, because when you're married, it's on hard mode. When you're in a long-term relationship, when she lives with you, really, when she lives with you, it's on hard mode, dude. It's like when you're dating, the Great Wall of China is tested once in a while when she's in your vicinity. Like the Mongols are trying here and there. Every once in a while, every few days, Genghis Khan maxing, right? Genghis Khan is testing the walls once in a while, every few days you see her. And you're able to repel that shit. You're laying down the long dick of the law. The archers are on the fucking wall, slaughtering that shit. I mean, it's all good. Then she moves in with you. Then the Mongols, the horde, the golden horde is at the fucking wall nonstop, bro. The fucking, those like siege towers, they're coming through. The fucking, what other, with like siege weapons. They're starting to, the headless people are being shot into the other side. Your army, they're dying of like diseases and shit. It's a nonstop. The assault is nonstop. And what happens? You take the archers down. I don't need 1 million archers. I only need a little bit of archers. I don't need provisions for like extended war. I don't need. And then you start to get weaker. The wall gets weaker. Your defenses start to go down. And then she penetrates, and that's it. Running roughshod all over the countryside, raping and pillaging at will. And all you do is like you placate and go, happy wife, happy life. It could be worse. It could be raping the entire village. Part of it. It could be worse. It could be burning the entire countryside. She only burned a little bit of it. And this is what it is. This is what a long-term relationship is like with a woman when you forego your duties and allow her to get through the wall. A lot of men go, dude, it's not easy. I'm not going to pretend it. It's not easy. You got to get turned on all the time. It is what it is.
You don't recognize this person. Always in a bad mood or sad, contradicting herself. At first she wasn't around enough, so you cut back on work. Maybe you take a part-time job.
Yeah. You either keep her busy with kids or keep her on her heels with other bitches. Like when you let yourself go and she sees that you're not catching fish, like you can't catch fish anymore, you don't even have to actually do anything. Just be out in public and have other women looking at you because you're a catch. That's the only way you keep a woman on her toes. Pump her full of kids or let her see other women trying to get after you.
You know, to be around more for her and the kids once you've progressed to that stage, you know. And now all of a sudden you're around too much. You know, you're suffocating her. She needs space. And it's like, what? You know, the apartment is no longer suitable. You need a home now. You know, so you bust your ass doing OT, you know, saving money, maybe even overextending yourself financially. And to get that home. And then all of a sudden, the home is just another thing. You know, women are never satisfied. And not all women, obviously, but a lot of women fall into this category. They're never satisfied. So it becomes a non-ending, you know, series of, like I said, obstacle courses. You trying to appease her and please her and make her happy. And I think it dawned on men that have already been in a marriage and divorced. Some of y'all that are still married, it's dawned on you. You'll never be happy. It'll never be enough. You can never do enough to make her happy because she isn't a happy person. See, that person that, like I said,
he's almost there. He just thinks, right, you were never the guy you got settled for, bro. This is what women do to simps. When a woman gets with a man she sees as the prize, she melts in your hand. I'm telling you guys, there's two types of relationships. There's the guys they settle for and the guys they would kill to settle with. 80% of men are the guys they settle for. 80% of the relationships are exactly that way. If your woman is not saving you money, if she's not constantly needy and on your balls, just hanging off your scrotum, if she doesn't want all your time, if she's not constantly touching you and all this shit, you were never the guy. This is the brutal truth. It's probably, closer to 90%. Most guys will never know that feeling because women don't find most guys attractive. You're a paycheck, dude. You are a get out of jail free card for her life. You're a meal ticket. For a vast majority of guys, you're a meal ticket. You were the one she preyed on and she settled for. I'm just being brutally honest. When you actually experience, if you've ever been attractive enough for women, if you had it easy in college or high school, you were the guy you know. These women will do anything and everything. There are no shields. There's no hoops to jump through. They just hang off every word. She's in La La Land, bro. That is rare. That is very rare. Most guys had to negotiate their way in. Here's what I do. Here's where I work. These are my hobbies. This is the lifestyle I can give you, blah, 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 blah. And then you end up in this like never-ending battle of negotiating. That's when that conversation of like, can you just give me some fucking space? God, I can't breathe with you here because she hates you. She's been hating your guts. Hated your guts from the very beginning. It's just you were an option, an easy one that could bail her out of all her mistakes. She dreams of getting piped by 50 dudes in college. She dreams when Mr. Longthroat McGee III was like deep in her guts from her throat, just shooting fucking cords of and then you were in there coming in to save the day, bro. She dreams of that guy. All the acrobatics in the bedroom, getting passed around in college, all these crazy stories. And then you came in and got down on one knee. You're like, will you marry me? Oh, will you marry me? Bro, what? Shooting fucking webs down her throat. And now you're like, how could this happen to me? Okay.
Role playing in the beginning, you know, was just full of sunshine. You know what I'm saying? You know, every time she smiled, man, she just blinded you with her brilliance. But that person doesn't exist in real life. You know, her nature is dark, is stormy. You know, it's like springtime in Ohio. One day you might get, you know, rain. The next it may be sunshine. It may rain, and then the sun will come out immediately, and then it'll rain again in the same course of 10 hours. You know what I'm saying? You don't.
Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you want to know if your boyfriend will come home this week, and you want to know if you're safe if he does. Going by your cards, I can see that he is in transit, represented by the primary card of the Chariot. The Star being in the secondary position in reversed does give me a bit of caution. So I do think you need to be careful regarding your safety. This is further backed up by the Ten of Wands being reversed. Lots of anxiety, stress, and other such warnings are in the spread. So I would recommend most likely having some sort of plan in place. If you'd like to talk in details about what you can best do in your situation, as well as what the future holds between you and your boyfriend, you can give me a call or send me a message. Oh, God.
Wallet just to get a smile. You understand how many of those guys are out there compared to guys in here?
Ow.
There are so many messages. I get emails all the time. Bro, just got a bad relationship 6 months ago. Found your channel. My view on the world has completely collapsed and changed. I'm now doing so much better. I hear a variation of that. I saw your channel years ago. My woman got divorced. You have no idea how many of those are out there and how many men wake up every single day, bro, unplugged. And they're just like grasping for like, oh, holy fuck, everything was a lie. Because it happened to you. You woke up one day too, guys. We all did. It's just not obvious. Exactly. For us, this seems like, bro, are we listening to this guy? It's his fault. No shit, because we've been there already. Until you've crossed that bridge, you don't know. You have no idea. Most guys are learning this shit for the first time. And it doesn't happen, unfortunately, until you get burned.
It's like taking everything in me not to reach out to him. You have no idea. Well, actually, you do probably know, but I've just been doing a lot of self-reflecting, and I feel like I need closure with him. Like, I don't even care to be with this guy. I just want to talk to him. Like, I just want to, like, I want to know what he's thinking about, like, how he feels about me now, like, what's going through his mind. It's so... All these fucking guys that have been coming in my life, I've been pushing everybody away. Nobody's my type. Like, I don't know what's going on with me. Like, I really need to do some healing. And honestly, that's kind of what I wanted to say. Like, not in that way, but just to say, you know what, I'm really glad that we're very few get that small, you know, you swallow that little water, and it's like, hey, bro, don't do this, don't do that. No, it's a suppository right up your ass. When your relationship crumbles, when your marriage falls apart, when she's weaponizing the kids against you, yeah, most men get it brutal. That's why it's so bitter. That's why it's hard to swallow. So you take it up the ass, bro. Because a lot of men can't take the truth. You've been told a lie. Society does gaslight you. It's true. You've been told a lie. Since you're a little boy, how you're supposed to treat women, they're making little flowers. Like, hey, society is just. If you just go to college, you get a good job, you get a great woman. No, that's not true. It's not true. It hasn't been true for a long time. What worked for your great-great-granddaddy does not work for us. And a lot of men are taking an even bigger suppository. That's the blackmail. They're getting doubly fucked.
Because at some point it dawns on you that nothing will suffice. But even deeper than that, when when it all falls apart, you realize it doesn't matter what you do. She's not going to be happy because she's not a happy person. You get what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying.
Especially if they were already in an extended relationship.
You know what I'm saying, man?
Or had kids with somebody else. There's emotional wear and tear. There's emotional damage, psychological damage. And trying to go away, it's going to be even more apparent. The only price that you pay psychologically, financially, drain women, there are many, wonderful women out here, from what I've heard.
Goddamn. From what I've heard, I ain't seen one of these bitches. But I heard. Wow. I'm almost 40. If I had your info low in high school, my whole world would be different. And yeah,
But there are also just as many, if not more, emotionally damaged women. And they're not happy. She wasn't happy before you met her. That was an act. And there will be nothing that you can do to make her happy.
yeah.
There'll be short-term highs. The highs are what keep you around. You keep thinking of that. It's when things were great. How can I get that back again?
No, it's not all women are like this. No, they're not, man. Just like men, there's just a lot of damage to make. There's a lot of damage people that finding somebody that doesn't have any damage, that actually has a sweet, bubbly personality, that hasn't been pumped and dumped, and all that kind of shit is just really rare. That's the problem. It almost doesn't exist anymore. Everybody's mind controlled by TikTok and all this shit. Everybody's made to feel like shit mentally. This is why so many men do the passport bro stuff, because it's next to impossible needle in a haystack in the West, but over there at least you get a couple more needles in the fucking haystack. Instead of one, you get like 1,000. So it's just easier to find somebody that's not mentally fucked in the head. But most people are fucked in the head. Most people everywhere around the world today are fucked in the head. It's not just our culture. We talked about it earlier. China, population collapse. Japan, same shit. Korea, it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. Latin America, it's the same shit. You guys are going to Colombia or they're going to Dominican Republic. All those are wars. Domestic damage to people. Getting laid is easier, yeah, but to find somebody decent, it's just hard everywhere.
And that was all a charade. Bill Cassidy, he turned his back on us, voted to impeach President Trump. Now Cassidy's turned his back on the truth, lying about conservative Julia Letlow. The truth, Julia Letlow is the only case endorsed by President Trump, a Trump conservative. Letlow earned President Trump's endorsement, taking on more policies for parents' rights, strong on immigration. That's why Julia Letlow has our president's complete and total endorsement. Accountability Project is responsible for content presented by
Get the same trusted Lysol disinfection that has a scent that'll make you move. Effortlessly kills 99.9% of germs. With Lysol's brand new day lavender, it'll leave a scent you'll love. What's going on, y'all? We are on the set of a Ford truck run, year 2, and I'm fired up. Good morning. How y'all doing? How you doing? 15, 20 minutes.
That is nice.
Here we go. When I hear the word "think sit still," I think of me. I would say it's one of my qualities that I feel like has been one of the things that's got me where I'm at. What's the second name? Hey, buddy. When it comes to songwriting and getting creative and you try to be one step ahead. My friends would describe me as a suitcase of legs. I never really thought that could be in like 10 different places at once, but somehow we make it happen. When I think about Fords, I think about gassing it up, shifting into gear, putting the pedal down. We're all living life at a certain pace. That can be hard at times, but a Ford truck is a workhorse. And I consider myself a workhorse too. And I think a workhorse needs a truck that can keep up. Well, there you go. That's a wrap. Ford Truck Mutt 2.0. I'll see you on down the road.
That's all. Forget about that. And now, this is the reality. You know what I'm saying? So, you stay, maybe the kids, you stay around, but you're a prisoner in your own home, a prisoner in your own body, in your own mind. You don't even like doing the things you used to do. Not because they don't bring you joy. That joy has been sucked out of you.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think we'd be talking about abandonment again. You may recall that this
What's up, brothers? Hope everyone's doing well out there. It's been a while. And
Give me sign. You gotta put it through its paces.
Hurry into the Nissan now sales event featuring Rover, Pathfinder, and Frontier. Number one new vehicle quality.
Ever since he was a baby, not understood that he was born to make things really good.
what's up, brothers? Hope everyone's doing well out there. It's been a while. And I figured, let's have a talk. The truth is, the reason why I've been gone is because I'll put you in on a little secret. Negativity is what sells on the internet. And to be honest with you, I just don't have anything negative going on. I don't have anything negative to even think about. I'm too blessed to be stressed, baby. Too grateful to be hateful, baby. But at the same time, this is too much fun for me to be done. So here we are. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about is, something that goes against a popular narrative that you'll hear on the internet. This concept that I see going around that, average men are doomed. The average person out there has no chance. When it comes to jobs or relationships or any of the above. Right? That's the common message that's being pushed out there. And as somebody that's spent a lot of time around high status people and also average people and even below average people, I can wholeheartedly say that the average people are the cream of the crop. They're a special breed. You don't get no better than average people. That's serious message. Anyways, what got me thinking about this subject is this morning I was in a bad mood and I had to make a trip to Lowe's. And I walk in the store. I'm looking for all the stuff I need. And a dude walks past me that works there. Dude's about 5'9", going a little bit gray, about 40 years old. Wedding band on his left hand. And an employee patch that said 8 years. Like 8 years customer service. Something like that. Just a regular grunt worker at Lowe's. 8 years. He's 40 years old. And he asked me how I'm doing. And I'm in a bad mood. So I'm like not wanting to talk to anyone. Right? I realized I could be a jerk sometimes. And instead of just keeping walking, I decided to look at him and say, I'm doing fine. How about you? And I looked at him and I realized it wasn't just a formality. This dude actually wanted to know how I was doing. I felt like a jerk. I know you're probably wondering, why am I telling you this story? Well, more about this guy. As I said, he had a wedding band on his hand. Now, I don't know the details. I don't know what all goes into this, but I know one thing for damn sure. When that guy went on a first date with his wife, she asked him, what do you do for a living? And he looked at her and he said, I work at Lowe's. I stock shelves, $15 an hour. And she probably said, well, that's different. She still went on a second date with him. She still married him. They probably have kids. Now this guy, perfectly capable of doing whatever he wanted to do in life. He decided to be one of the best damn Lowe's workers customer service workers, retail workers that you could ever come across. That's an average guy. Now, that's a guy that probably doesn't have a lot of money, right? Obviously. Probably doesn't drive the nicest car, have the nicest house. But he's got a wife, and he goes to his job every day with a good attitude and sees somebody like me in a bad mood, kind of being a jerk, and he decides to turn my day around. And by the same token, you know, there was 10 minutes later, there was a female worker, about 29 years old. I'm looking at some stuff. She comes walking over, has this real weird, shy, goofy walk. Excuse me, sir, can I help you find something? I know it's their job to be that way, but these are great people. You know, these are average human beings that are just grateful, hardworking, outstanding people. You know, and you see them everywhere you go. All day, every day. You see them. And they have everything they could ever possibly want in life. Things money can't buy. You know, they're too blessed to be stressed. Look, you can either be too blessed to be stressed or too stressed to be blessed. You can't be both. Most high status people are too stressed to be blessed. And it's true. They don't have the ability to be grateful, to appreciate what they have. So they're always chasing that next thing. And that includes relationships. They're never even grateful for the person that they're with. Most high status men always need a hotter girlfriend. So they dump the one they're with and they just keep trying to move up. Most women in those positions always need a richer guy, a better looking guy. They just want to move up all the time. Average people make the best teammates. They're just great teammates. They deserve respect and they deserve appreciation. You know, you got to keep that in mind. I know a lot of you guys are average guys. We all are. A lot of you women out there are average women. You know, you're discouraged when you see the competition might be a little more appealing than you. They might have it's perceived that they have more to offer than you. That's not how you want to think about it. Average people make great teammates. You know, the average guys will be your best friend. And for guys out there, you got to understand, average women make very good teammates in relationships. Do you know what an average relationship, an average marriage consists of about 75% of the time? You know, you got the couple and, you know, they go places. Maybe they go to church or wherever their place of worship is. Do you know what an average woman does when she loves you and she's a good teammate? She holds your arm and leans into you with her head on you and rocks her body back and forth while she's standing there. I don't know if that makes sense, but they all do that. Every single one of them. And that's like 70% of your relationship. You're at church, you're at a concert, you're in line at the grocery store. And they just need you for that support, that physical support, emotional support, sometimes financial support, but at the same time, they're great teammates. So if you lose your job or if you work at Lowe's and you don't really have, there's a lot more month than there is money, she'll pick up the slack, you know, because she's a great teammate and she likes you. The biggest problem that people have, whether they're high status or average or below average, is they have very poor conflict resolution skills. You know, stress and lack of appreciation are both byproducts of poor conflict resolution skills. The way you react in conflict or high stress situations, that's going to determine how much you value your life, how much you appreciate what you have. You know, just those average people that they have that perfect balance. You know, they just have the perfect life. Still to this day, the greatest experience of my life, this is going to sound kind of weird, but I know everybody there watches my videos, and I know they just secretly do, like, because they were there when I uploaded my first YouTube video. As cringe as it was, all shirtless, doing fitness videos and green screen and like trying to act and all that back in 2014 or 15 or whatever. The greatest experience of my life was a job that I had. I had my full-time, I was established in a full-time job, but I didn't know anybody in Tulsa, so I decided to pick up a part-time job at Sears. They're out of business now, but back then the company Sears was pretty close to the old brick house. I got a part-time job there, so when I wasn't working my full-time job, I was almost always there during the day. It was either gym, full-time job, or Sears. But my time at Sears was the greatest time of my life. I was excited about going there and clocking in because everybody working there, we had all these different walks of life, like all these different types of people, but they were all just average. You know, nobody was driving a Lambo. Nobody was like famous or like rich. Just a bunch of average people. Shout out to Philip. Philip's always been supportive. The guy I worked with there. Average people. If you guys watch my old live streams, you know who Philip is because he would call in all the time. Somebody that knew me from back in those days. But you know, all different walks of life. He had like slick curly hair. He had this like gel in it, like all slick back looking. Very much smooth player kind of guy. Hooking up with damn near every woman in the store. But there's something about a guy that's like a true player. You can't be jealous of him. You can't hate him. He's too freaking cool for you to hate him. You know, you're just like marveling at his magnificence. Like, you know what, this guy he's cool as shit. You know, can't hate him, can't be jealous. It is what it is. That's the management. I remember the interview process he gave me. He was like, do you think you can sell appliances? And I was just like, the appliances are going to sell. Just like, oh, you know what, that's too long. I like that. And then he hired me. It was such a weird interview, but cool guy. You know, this old lady, always customer service, first lady I would see when I walked in. Typical North Tulsa, Black Wall Street, 70-year-old woman, permanent smile on her face. Every time you walk past, she says, "Hey, baby." Big smile on her face. Everyone knows that type of woman.
Just like the idea of him. It's the idea of like I never actually got to experience like the life
stealing from the company.
It's like it was always what if or why
At the same
you know
time,
it would be good and then he'd pull back. Like it was like a high. It's
You know, you have these sociopathic
I know it's something you've heard of before, but
always stirring up
it's
the
gonna
pot,
take some time for me to get over
crazy.
it, honestly. And the more I don't talk to him, it just makes it worse.
In there. You know, college students, 50-year-olds that just decided to work at Sears the rest of their lives. And all the customers that would walk in there, just the most average, blue-collar, American, just regular people. I loved it there. It was just the greatest time of my life. And it's weird that a job that lame can be so exciting to somebody, but, you know, I've been to Miami, I've been to Las Vegas. Been to New York. Been to Los Angeles. Was born in Chicago, Dallas, Houston, wherever. Been to amusement parks and concerts and cool vacations all over the place. And I don't know why, but this one takes the cake. The greatest, most exciting experience I've ever been through. Because I got to be around these average people. Such cool people, even the good, the bad, the ugly. There's something just marvelous about average people. And average women, man, when you have an average woman that's just a teammate and an accessory in your life, you know, she's just there. A lot of manosphere guys, when you use words like teammate or partner, they get all upset. They get their panties in a bunch. Look, when you say teammate or partner, if I take a dog for a walk, that dog is my partner, my teammate. It fends off all the bad animals. It barks at people. It protects me. I stop, it stops. I walk, it walks. Dogs are loyal. They're cool. Average women, when they love you, they're great teammates. They're loyal. They're cool. You know, it's the same thing. They just want to sort of follow your lead. They want you for emotional support. You know, it's strange because as a man, I can stand there and I'm just listening to the speaker. I'm paying attention to what's going on. And a woman will be grabbing my arm, leaning against me with her head on me, tilting back and forth, as if she is having a moment, an experience, an emotional, I don't want to say meltdown, that's not the quite the right word. She's having an emotional moment, I guess, just like a baby with a bottle. You know, it's like a moment where they're getting something they need. They're getting a certain nourishment for their soul. And you realize that's how easy it is. And a great teammate, your car breaks down. And, you know, contrary to what high value alpha males will say, they say, well, you know, you're worthless if you don't have anything to provide. I'm calling bullshit on that one. Your car breaks down. She gives you her keys. Under one condition, she wants you to drive her and pick her up wherever she is. But you can drive her car because that's a teammate. You're the man. She wants you to manage the situation. And, you know, part of your conflict resolution skills are to find a way to make it work. But her job as a teammate is to support you when you're down. You know, and she does a good job at that. It's something you only get from average women. You don't get that from the high status women. You know, they expect more, always more. It's never enough. They never appreciate what they have. An average woman will. Now, I'm telling you, the hairdressers, and people say, never date a hairdresser. Bullshit. I know a lot of great hairdressers, really cool women. I've had conversations with female hairdressers and seen them break out in tears because we're having, you know, deep conversations. It's all it.
When I last shared that I am currently representing a $100 million exit for one of my YouTube clients. Growing up here in such an iconic building around so many iconic people, shaped the woman that I am today. My great grandfather Conrad always called Australia the greatest of them all.
How you doing? Fine.
This is being now.
Exceptional by design. It's all about you during the Buick SUV sales event. Get 0.9% APR and up to $2,000 allowance on Encore GX.
When I last shared that I am currently representing a $100 million exit for one of my YouTube clients, the response was electric, but it revealed a massive gap in this industry. Most of you told me, Tyler, I didn't even know an exit was possible for someone like me. This tells me the industry has failed you. You've been taught how to be tenants, how to pay rent to Google and YouTube with your time, but no one has taught you how to be owners. Most creators think their subscriber count is their net worth. It's not. Views won't make you rich. Your assets will. Today, I'm showing you the $100 million blueprint to stop feeding the algorithm and start building an empire you actually own. If you stay until the end of this video, I'm going to teach you the one specific revenue model that investors will pay 10x premium for. It's not AdSense, and it's not brand deals. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tyler Chow, the creative attorney. I represent some of the biggest YouTubers in the world as their fractional CEO and general counsel. And now, under my advisory M&A arm, Creator Arc, I am helping creators create their revenue streams, build their empires so that they can exit one day. As I told you in my last video, I was going to Dubai. And when I was in Dubai speaking at the $1 million summit, I sat down with a huge YouTuber with over 30 million subscribers. They are superstars. But as the creator's attorney, my job isn't to be a fan, it's to be a guardian. Supply chains. They encountered an issue with the manufacturer they were using, so they stopped. And in my mind, I was so confused. It was a fixable issue, but why did they just quit? When I last shared that I am currently representing a $100 million exit for one of my YouTube clients, the response was electric, but it revealed a massive gap in this industry. Most of you told me, Tyler, I didn't even know an exit was possible for someone like me. This tells me the industry has failed you. You've been taught how to be tenants, how to pay rent to Google and YouTube with your time, but no one has taught you how to be owners. Most creators think their subscriber count is their net worth. It's not. Views won't make you rich. Your assets will. Today, I'm showing you the $100 million blueprint to stop feeding the algorithm and start building an empire you actually own. If you stay until the end of this video, I'm going to teach you the one specific revenue model that investors will pay 10x premium for. It's not AdSense, and it's not brand deals. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tyler Chow, the creator's attorney. I represent some of the biggest YouTubers in the world as their fractional CEO and general counsel. And now, under my advisory M&A arm, Creator Arc, I am helping creators create their revenue streams, build their empires so that they can exit one day. As I told you in my last video, I was going to Dubai. And when I was in Dubai speaking at the $1 billion summit, I sat down with a huge YouTuber with over 30 million subscribers. They are superstars. But as the creator's attorney, my job isn't to be a fan, it's to be a guardian and an architect. When I looked at the structure they built, I saw a fragile kingdom. They didn't own their first party data. I asked if they had an email list and they said no. So I asked them, if your YouTube channel goes down tomorrow, do you have access to your audience? The horror on their face told me everything I needed to know. They had no physical supply chains. They encountered an issue with the manufacturer they were using, so they stopped. And in my mind, I was so confused. It was a fixable issue, but why did they just quit? Their CEO was a childhood best friend with no corporate or operational experience. And this is one of the biggest issues I see with most YouTube businesses. You hire your best friend or your mom or your boyfriend and you let them run your business because you trust them. So I looked them in the eye and I said, I love what you've built. But right now, an investor wouldn't buy this. You have a channel, but you don't have a business. I'm not being big law attorney mean. I'm just being honest and strategic. I want you to have the $100 million exit.
You can't get there with a childhood friend strategy. You need a CEO strategy. Someone who manages your upload schedule is not going to be able to take you to an exit and grow out your revenue streams. You need infrastructure. I want to help you build a wall so high that no algorithm change can ever knock them down. And this is the truth. YouTube is demonetizing channels and deleting a lot of channels, and it is terrifying for most YouTubers. So knock them down. And this is the truth. YouTube is demonetizing channels and deleting a lot of channels, and it is terrifying for most YouTubers. So please build on your own land. Now, let's compare that fragile kingdom to what we're doing right now with my newest client, Romeo. You know Romeo of the Dr. Pepper jingle.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
What works? What actually works? I want to wake up and understand the choices I'm making. No confusion, just clarity. Supplements backed by experts and over 40 years of science. So, what works? Now I know. Thorn.
New chicken bacon ranch street chalupas at Taco Bell. You can't get just one. And no, that's not some marketing hyperbole about how I'm obsessed with the slow roasted chicken, bacon, and avocado ranch sauce. It's only two. You literally can't order just one. The new chicken bacon ranch street chalupas at Taco Bell.
To the world, Romeo is a viral sensation. To me, Romeo is the definition of the American dream because they didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for a studio head or some executive to deem their talent worthy. Romeo had an idea for a jingle for Dr. Pepper, and that video alone has reached over 100 million views. But my team, along with Romeo's manager, Miguel, and I are here to ensure that this is more than just 15 minutes of fame. We are moving at the speed of culture to ensure this is 15 years of legacy. Since that Dr. Pepper moment, we've navigated to a road trip with Hyundai, then to Vita Coco. In fact, as I sit here recording on this Super Bowl Sunday, the collaboration I helped negotiate in paper for the Super Bowl with Vita Coco is literally live today. How exciting is that? We are in the trenches right now of doing the invisible work, the legal protection, the high stakes negotiation, the structural building. We're making sure we're not just a trending topic, but an owner generational asset. If you don't have the right architects in your corner when the spotlight hits, the house usually collapses. We are Romeo's kingdom stands forever. So let's move to another case study. 2 days ago, a client told me they spent 6 months making 5 shorts a day. They have to upload 5 shorts a day. And you know what? They're exhausted. I asked them, what about that product we designed and discussed 6 months ago? The one that you can sell one day to private equity funds. The one that millions of moms need because it addresses a daily pain point. They said they didn't have time to start it because they were too busy feeding the algorithm. This is such a common story. I meet with big YouTubers all the time. They want to get off the hamster wheel. Listen to me. If you're too busy making content to build your business, you aren't an entrepreneur. You're an employee of a platform you don't own. I want you to move from rented land to owned land. You have to be able to get off this hamster wheel. The excitement I saw in the hundreds and hundreds of comments in my last $100 million exit video proves you're ready for more. You're ready to stop trading your minutes for pennies and start building legacy IP. If you're tired of being a tenant and you're ready to start building on your own land, I want you to comment the word owner below. Let's see who is ready to graduate from the loop. And make sure you fill out the exit scorecard, which over 2,000 creators have accessed since my last 100 million exit video. Earlier, I promised to show you the one revenue stream that investors pay a 10x premium for. This is it, the ownership loop. Most creators are stuck at tier 3, relying on just ads and the brand deal. That's the hamster wheel money. The world builders, the ones I represent in $100 million deals, operate at tier 1. Investors want predictability. They want to know that a customer you acquire today is a permanent asset on your balance sheet. Look at Mr. Beast and Beastables. He sells something that runs out. He turns viewers into weekly grocery shoppers. How about infrastructure building with Mark Rober? He sells a monthly curriculum. He isn't selling a toy. He's selling a 10-year relationship with a student with his Crunch Labs subscription boxes. That is the best product out there. If you can create something like Crunch Labs, you will have a $100 million plus business. The Holy Grail is a technical app. This is the move my most successful clients are making right now. They're building tech tools and apps. Think about the leverage. You build the software.
Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you want to know why Moreo is acting strange, or you want to make sure that it is because he's acting strange and not just you. Going by your reading, the Hierophant being in the upright position, followed by Eight of Cups, does suggest that something's happened in his interpersonal life where someone who's had some form of authority or advisory figure with him, there seems to have been some sort of altercation, misunderstanding, and it's caused him to kind of lose his way in some form. So this leads to his mood being a bit wonky. There's a little bit of somber attitude mixed in with occasional flare-ups, anger. Six of Wands being reversed also shows that due to whatever this interpersonal issue is, it's also hurting his ability to open up to others. Fuck. Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you want to know why Moreo is acting strange, or you want to make sure that it's just not your perception. Going by your cards, the Hierophant followed by Eight of Cups shows that it seems that Moreo has heard a certain thing pertaining to you, which is causing him to act differently than he would normally. This has probably been showing up in the form of a fluctuating mood. He's maybe more withdrawn or just moody all around. Six of Wands being reversed shows that it did seem like he wanted to do something with you, but due to whatever he's heard, it's caused him to completely shut that down. So it seems as though I would advise you have a direct talk with him and just see what it is that he's heard from this person. And if you want further details on what the future holds between the two of you, as well as any other issues that might come up between the two of you, you can give me a call or send me a message. That's the card.
And if you
Oh my god. Oh, good lord. Oh. That's some funny stuff. Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you want to know if the person you have a small crush on feels the same and if it will grow in the future. Going by your cards, Four of Cups would be a negative indicator right now. It does show that he's not going to really reciprocate your feelings, but it's mainly because of insular nature from him. This is represented by the Four of Pentacles being reversed. Something has happened in his past that makes him rather defensive, insulated, introverted, at least when it comes to connecting with people in that kind of way. As far as the future goes, it also looks a bit troubling due to Five of Wands being in the last position. This suggests that there will be some drama involving multiple people. I do see that it will involve at least one extra woman and at least the opinions of an extra man in this equation. So I would keep an eye on that. Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you want to know if the person you have a crush on feels the same and will it grow in the future. Going by your cards, Four of Cups would be a negative indicator right now, anyway. Right now, they don't seem to be able to reciprocate any feelings that you have for them. This is mainly explained by the secondary card of Four of Pentacles. This shows that something has happened to them in their life involving another person, which has made them very insulated, very defensive, and it will take a bit of work to get them to open up. As far as the future with them, it looks rather chaotic due to the placement of Five of Wands in the last position. This would suggest that there will be some drama involving multiple people. It looks as though it will involve one woman and one man who knows both of you. So I would be cautious going into the future. However, I do believe that you can get past this roadblock and something can blossom between you and this other person. Now, if you want further information about what the future holds between the two of you, as well as your compatibility, you can give me a call or send me a message. I am destroying my throat. I'm destroying my throat.
Of 5.6%. And that rate more accurately reflects not just the current shape of the economy, but also the dangers from an oil shock coming into this weakened state, as well as private credit bust, which will only continue to escalate
even more than it already has. And if that wasn't enough, we got another negative in the form of January retail sales. So oil shot, private credit bust, and a slew of macroeconomic negatives. I'm kind of shocked the stock market didn't soar to all-time highs here. So, Steve, are supposed to be picking up. The economy's supposed to be picking up. The markets are supposed to be picking up. Everything is supposed to be picking up. And instead, what we see is pretty much the same thing that we got last year, middle part of last year. It's not that the economy's falling off a cliff, but it is this back and forth, heading lower and lower and lower, getting worse as we go along.
Yeah, Jeff, but this was not expected. I mean, when I first saw that number on my phone this morning, I was like, well, is there a misprint? Let me scroll back and get it to refresh. Because normally, by the time we see negative payrolls, it's already obvious that we were going to see negative payrolls. And coming out of January's number, you're like, well, wait a minute. Like, how could this be a shift? And then you think, oh, okay, maybe there's some strikes going on. And there you go. It's only 32,000 workers. So even if we discount that, we're still in the negative territory here. And then you look at hours worked and you think, okay, well, maybe there was a big change there, because that's usually, one of my big things I see a leading indicator. It goes back to its unchanged. But average hourly earnings continue to decline. Jeff, I know you're a big fan of labor productivity data on the Cordia stuff that comes out, and unit labor costs. That was just being the big leading indicator that yes, you don't have to give people raises here. But what we're starting to see is a complete mismatch of supply and demand for labor. The economy slows down a bit, and everyone says, fine, now we're at the bottom. And then next thing you know, the labor market drops some more. And it's like, oh, well, maybe we're going down a little bit more. And that's, once again, where we're at. And this is surprising. I just wouldn't surprise me if next month's number is positive, but to see a number at this level is very, leading indicator that we're in a recession.
Yeah, that's what's throwing everybody off, is the pattern, not the numbers necessarily, it's the pattern. You have this thing in your mind that when you get into something like a recession, it's one big negative number after another after another. It's consistent. It's like a straight line downward. What we oftentimes see, even in recessions themselves, you go back to the recession in the 1970s, for example, there is this back and forth in the initial stages. It doesn't just immediately fall off. There is this, some months might be positive, a couple months are negative. Everybody's surprised by each one, really. Because you get a negative number, you think, okay, here it comes. The next one's going to be, oh, wait a minute, it's positive. Then you get a positive number, and everybody says, oh, we're out of it. It was just all, it was all just a bluff. It's all nothing. We're going to move forward from here. And then a negative number shows up, and then it's another one. In fact, with the latest figures and all the revisions, what we've seen is that from the establishment survey, after the benchmark revisions and the latest numbers, latest updates, 5 of the last 9 months have been negative. 5 of the last 9. So you got one down, one up, one down, one up, one down, one up. And over time, what that means is on average, you're going lower and lower. You're just doing so much slower than people anticipated. So understand it. The pattern doesn't fit with people's imagination, but it does fit with historical precedents for how contractions develop. They don't go in a straight line, at least not initially. What the point here is, this is supposed to be turning around. We're supposed to be moving out of 2025. 2026 is supposed to be a boom, and instead we get more confidence at the start of 2026. We never got out of any, if anything. It's still at best the same as it was before. Before I go on with our video today, let me ask you a question. What if your gold could actually pay you every single month in more gold? That's what today's video sponsor, Monetary Metals, lets you do. And here's how it works. You still own the gold. It's still in your name. It's fully insured. But instead of just sitting there doing nothing, it actually starts working for you. Monetary Metals has built a system that turns idle gold into productive gold, earning real yield paid in physical gold, not dollars. No selling, no trading, no converting. You keep your gold, and every month you get more of it. Simple idea, but it solves a big problem. If gold is money, it should act like money, and now it finally can. If you're a long-term gold holder looking for a smarter way to store value, check them out at monetary-metals.com/Snyder. Again, that's monetary-metals.com/Snyder. I highly recommend booking a call with them today to see if they're the right fit for you. We thank Monetary Metals for their sponsorship, and now let's get back to the rest of our video.
It was interesting, Jeff, is we didn't see this in the survey data. There was nothing like in the ISM or the S&P Global that was like, hey, there's going to be a whole bunch of people losing their job. In fact, in February, we saw the opposite. It was, oh, new orders are up, and look, everything's starting to turn around. And so you would think, okay, well, obviously something in the labor market would reflect that. More hours, better pay, more jobs, and all of a sudden you get this massive negative print. And you think, wait a minute, what's really going on here? Because I think the reason people are struggling with this is usually, Jeff, in cycles, the stock market should be going down. That doesn't mean it's going off a cliff here, but it should be reflecting the fact that, hey, like you said, the plane's coming in for a landing here, maybe a harder landing than anyone wants, but it's still, the trend is it's heading down, and the market's not reflecting that. And particularly, you look at retail behavior over the last 30 days, and particularly tech stocks, they're just buying every dip as if this is the generational bottom, and then you need to get in. But underneath there, the labor market currents, I mean, what's happening here is not good.
Do you think, Steve, that sort of investors, retail investors in particular, kind of normalize themselves to this? They have in their mind that, if as long as it's not, first it was, as long as there's no negative numbers, then we're okay. Now it's sort of like, well, as long as they're, every once in a while is negative, that's okay. As long as we don't see negative after negative after negative, that means we can buy the dip because this is just a short-term disruption. So I wonder if, every time we go through this longer process of more prolonged process that we've been in the last couple of years, what we call figuring out how to grow, people kind of get normalized to it. It's not the worst case that they have in their mind. And so, okay, if it's not the worst case, then it must be fine. Like I said, first it was, we didn't have any negative payroll numbers, therefore we don't need to worry about buying every dip, buy every risk asset you can possibly get, just pile money into that stuff. I mean, yeah, it was disrupted by tariffs. The tariffs fed into a sell-off in a pretty volatile period. But once you got past that, right back into risk assets last summer, then negative payroll numbers started to show up, and everybody went, whoa, wait a minute. But it wasn't one after another, so we get normalized to this new pattern. It's okay. As long as there are negative numbers every once in a while, then we must be okay. Not realizing that there is a progression here. You're moving the goalpost, and as you're moving the goalpost, what's forcing you to move the goalpost is the economic deterioration that you're not really taking into account. Now, other parts of the marketplace are definitely taken into account. So when we talk about
still time for you to change.
That's, I think, one of the issues here that people have is they have this idea in their mind of how it should look. And what we're trying to say is, what really matters is we shouldn't have any negative numbers at all. There should be no. In fact, every number should be legitimately positive and strong positive. The fact that there are any negative numbers at all are a red flag, a huge warning. But I think that's what the problem people have is they don't really see the pattern for what it is.
Yeah, Jeff, because you think of late cycle market dynamics, that's where you see a lot of retail investors come in. What do they get taught? Just buy the dip. And they were rewarded, buy the pandemic dip and buy the next dip. And so, okay, hey, payrolls went negative. It's okay because there's a trade war, and when that ends, things are going to go up. And there's this Iran conflict. Well, when that's over, things are going to go up. So they've gotten coached into this, and that's why you hear people say retail buys in most of the top, and a lot of people snicker like, I would never do that. But you look over the last 30 days at the tape, and it's hard to argue. Every intraday dip is getting bought. But as you said, there's some structural things that changed here. So what kind of when I saw the news today, in particular, Jeff, the payroll was one thing, but the retail sales data for me was a real validator here because we can look at the factory level, say, new orders are up. We can look at the service sector, say, new orders are up. Well, clearly somebody's laying off here. And you start looking at the retail space and you go, that's where it's at.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep coming back. Break away to what's possible with Tremfya, with rapid relief in 4 weeks. Many people experienced remission at 1 and even 2 years. Some saw 100% visible healing of their intestinal lining. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Tremfya is now approved for Crohn's disease. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
Today we're breaking down the top 5 reasons investors are watching with Fardin Lake Mining, trading as MLM on the CSE. The Jubilee Gold Project is now one of Ontario's largest undeveloped gold resources. The latest NI 43-101 shows 1.2 3.01 million ounces indicated and 3.17 million ounces inferred. It is a substantial Tier 1 asset with significant room to grow and expand its resource. McFarlane recently acquired the Juby Gold project from Aris Mining, and after 5 years idle, McFarlane is reintroducing Juby to the investor, creating a get-in-early opportunity. McFarlane value-add plans involve resource expansion and definition drilling, coupled with study work to prepare for ore extraction. High-grade gold zones commencing at surface allow the opportunity to limit capital spend and generate cash early on through the sale of gold ore to local processing facilities. The size of the deposit also allows strategic investors the option of building its own facility producing over 200,000 ounces of gold a year.
Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you want to know if you should tell Carlos that you think he's attractive, or if you want to wait for him to tell you how he feels. Going by your cards, the sun being in the primary position seems to be a pretty clear green light on at least telling him that he's attractive. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything serious. You can just casually affirm that you like what you're seeing. Queen of Cups being reversed kind of signals, again, to just keep it casual, don't overcommit, but it will definitely do nothing but good to show that you're a little interested. Now, as far as him telling you how he feels, King of Cups being in the final position and upright shows that if you let it play out naturally, he will eventually come to you and tell him what he has on his heart regarding you. Now, if you want further details about what the future holds between the two of you, as well as your compatibility, you can give me a call or send me a message. Shadow groove may never come undone. There's a stranger wearing
Now
my
we get a negative
skin.
number from January, which seems to be the case after every Christmas season. We always get a negative retail sales in January. But either way, you've got, a multi-month period. Again, it's not just 1 month or another, but you've got a multi-month period where consumers have, it's not 2008. People aren't just completely stopping buying things, but it is determined weakness, a very visible weakness that just goes along with what Steve just said. Payroll numbers. You've got some minor, modest amount of job shedding and job cutting that's taking place. So at the margins, you've got consumers who are saying, I would like to spend, I would like to buy a car because I don't know if the price is going up. But you know what? I'm not really all that confident about anything. And I do see that, people I talk to, their work and their labor is definitely questionable. Maybe I'm not seeing it in my job, but well, you never know. With the fact that it's taking place, I need to be more cautious and careful. So the jobs data aligns with the retail sales numbers, and what it points to is deterioration, degradation when we're supposed to be in a recovery and a picking up period.
Yeah, Jeff, and I think there's a lot of reaction from the retailers here, because if you're a factory and you say, okay, things are slow, but the fax machine's running, I'm getting some quotes, getting some bids, there's some new orders coming, that you hold on to your staff. But if you're a retailer, this is a whole different story. Your margins are too thin. If things start to slow down and your perception is they're going to get worse, which we've heard from Walmart and Target, while they're trying to act somewhat optimistic, the reality is they know what's really going on. You have no choice. You've got to cut workers, and you've got to cut them quick. In fact, a great story, I think it was last week or whatever, there's a Walmart near my house, and so I was up.
OpenAI just released their latest model, GPT 5.4, and this.
That's it. We're switching teams. I mean, we just switched to Verizon. Have 4 new iPhones and a new phones on that.
Is it a particular way?
Come to Verizon and get 4 iPhone 17 Pros on us.
Moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. Now I have Skyrizi.
OpenAI just released their latest model, GPT 5.4, and this is seriously impressive. So in this video, I'm going to go over all the crazy things that it can do, plus we're going to go over its specs,
Hello.
and benchmarks against
How are you?
other state-of-the-art models. Let's jump right in. Thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. Let's start this off with some demos. Now, note that all the top models can already do simple stuff like writing emails, writing social media posts, answering simple questions. So,
Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you're wanting to know if you and your husband are going to fix your marriage. Going by your cards, the Magician being reversed mainly just represents where things are right now. There is a stagnation in the marriage right now, which does give way to what Five of Wands is showing in the secondary position, that there is a lot of drama, that some outside parties are getting involved or at least opining to one or both of you. And Page of Wands being reversed also shows a severe lack in intimacy, passion, and deeper connection with each other. I'd say from this current position, you still have an opportunity to fix everything between the two of you, but it will take a lot of time and effort. I'd say the first thing to probably get under control will be outside opinions, because at the end of the day, this is your marriage between two people. So I do think that if you cut down on the white noise around both of you and first try to contain your issues to just each other, where you can just talk it out amongst yourselves without outside opinions, I believe this would immediately start to improve things, and then we could work on the other areas such as intimacy or understanding one another. So if you want further advice on issues that might come up in the future as you tackle these many problems, as well as analyzing your compatibility with each other, you can give me a call or send me a message. I will never leave you.
New York, and it renders a 3D map of New York like this. How insane is that? I can drag this around, I can rotate this. This is so cool. Now let me hit orbital view again to zoom up back to a planet view, and then next let's move to Tokyo. And here it's zooming way into Tokyo like this. Super cool. And indeed here we have a 3D map of Tokyo. So there you go. In just 3 or 4 prompts, I can build this fully interactive planet Earth with different layers. Plus, this can even zoom into individual cities and render them in 3D. This is an insanely powerful model. None of the other top models.
Hello, this is Shanoa. God, it's too much. Hello, this is Shanoa. Now, regarding your question, you're wanting to know if you inadvertently messed up their plans for meeting tonight, and you want to know if that's why she was behaving so oddly when you came by. Going by your cards, King of Cups does confirm that there was some sort of intention, at least, for them to meet up. it's something related to intimacy or just dating. Two of Wands being reversed shows that there was an impediment, which you did explain was you visiting. So that did get in the way of whatever plans they had lined out. As far as the nature of it, it's mostly confirmed by Ace of Swords, since with it being reversed in the last position, it does show that something extremely intimate, such as sex, was prevented in this situation, going by the reading. So overall, I would take all of these signs as meaning that both of them were definitely up to something very passionate and intimate between the two of each other, and that you did accidentally muddle those plans. And if you want further information about what to expect them to do with each other in the future, as well as any problems you might have regarding them, you can give me a call or send me a message. Oh my God. I will never leave you.
All the top models out there, which is how good is it at turning an image into a 3D animated scene. So I'm going to upload this. OpenAI just released their latest model, GPT 5.4, and this is seriously impressive. So in this video, I'm going to go over all the crazy things that it can do, plus we're going to go over its specs, performance, and benchmarks against other state-of-the-art models. Let's jump right in. Thanks to HubSpot for sponsoring this video. Let's start this off with some demos. And note that all the top models can already do simple stuff like writing emails, writing social media posts, answering simple questions. So here I'm going to show you some really challenging tests that very few of the top models could get correct. Now, GPT 5.4 is available on ChatGPT, but what I'm going to show you first are some examples in OpenAI's Codex. This is basically like a coding agent that can work on an entire project at once. So how this works is it creates a new folder on your computer, and then it can create and work on multiple files within that folder. Especially if you're building some really complex projects that require multiple files, then this is better than just using ChatGPT to just vibe code one file. All right, so here's our first prompt. Build a fully interactive 3D that allows users to zoom seamlessly from outer space down to individual city streets. Show a realistic planet Earth. Use publicly available assets, models, and layers if needed. Make sure it loads efficiently on a regular web browser. And then I'm going to set the reasoning effort to extra high, which is the most performant option. Let's click run. All right, now here's what I got first. The first iteration was decent, but I wanted to add more layers, so I prompted it further in Orbital View at atmospheric simulation, and then that looked kind of awful, so I wrote use publicly available realistic cloud or atmosphere layers. Also, I'm toggle for day and night at Orbital View. At night, I should be able to see city lights of major populated areas. And then afterwards, I still got some display issues, so I wrote, especially in night mode, it seems there's a translucent black layer that's dimming everything, remove this. And afterwards, that's pretty much it. So it's pretty simple. Here is the entire folder with all the files. Let's open up the HTML. And here's what I got. How cool is that? So let's first turn off clouds and atmosphere, and then let's
It's your first time.
So
Interesting.
Looks like, and then let's turn on.
What do you want to know?
This is really cool. So indeed, it's able to convert this map into nighttime. Lights for all major
Oh my
God!
God.
Here's the really cool thing. Let me turn this back into day view, and then we can zoom in directly to New York like this. So let me click on New York, and it zooms way in to New York, and it renders a 3D map of New York like this. How insane is
When do you
that?
actually
I can,
see
like,
me
drag this around.
in
I can
relationship
rotate
with a
this.
woman?
This is so cool. Now let me hit orbital view again to zoom up back to
What's your name?
view, and then next let's move to Tokyo. And here it's zooming way into Tokyo like this. Super cool. And indeed, here we have a 3D map of Tokyo. So
Mario,
there you go.
Mario.
In just like 3 or 4 prompts, I can build this fully interactive planet Earth with different layers. Plus, this can even zoom
Yeah,
into individual
I see
cities
you in
and
a
render them
relationship.
in 3D. This is an insanely powerful model. None of the other top models could code this out in just a few prompts. Next, let me start a new project and let's see if we can compose some really cool classical music. Now, first I need to get to actually make an interface for it to compose music. So I wrote make a piano roll interface where I can drag and draw notes on the timeline. Add play, pause, and other settings, yada yada yada. Again, I'm going to set this to extra high and then press generate. Alright, so here's what I got, and it just created a standard HTML of this interface for me. Now the next and the most important part is I got it to show a powerful, expressive 32-bar piano opus, rich in complexity, capturing the final performance of a master pianist. Make it sound amazing. So here is what we got. That's pretty much it. It's only 2 prompts. Let's open up the music folder and this HTML file. And let's play this.
That's it. What do you mean that's it? You asked a free question. What do you expect? The red carpet? When? Now, why would I tell you that? That takes all the mystery out. Not really. So you're the expert now? Oh my god, that's good. Because it still has to happen. Yes, that's what the future is. It's what hasn't happened yet.
That was actually beautiful. I've tested this prompt with the other top models out there like Gemini 3.1 as well as GLM5, but this one by GPT 5.4 is by far the most beautiful and coherent piece I've.
Oh my god, I hit the home button. So when you see me in a relationship, please. I could do that for 3 credits.
All right. Well, last night was weird. I ended up going to a house party in the projects where I was the only white person there, and I kinda almost.
But I can rate you. You have to do credits to even rate me. I'm about to get a call anyway, so I think I gotta go. Hey. I'm good. What's going on? Yeah. Yes. Oh. Oh, God. Yeah. Yes. Yes, like whenever you get that weird feeling, it's almost always like spot on. Well, he seems, well, is he, he is more used to, it feels like he's more used to this kind of stuff, so he knows he can't give up, like give up the game to you. So inside he was definitely like, God, I hope she doesn't catch a whiff of anything. But yes, you are right, he was definitely like blowing smoke. When he was like talking to you, he was trying to hurry up, get out of Dodge, and it seems like you ended up keying in on the woman though, which kind of gave it all away. Oh my God. Mm, yes. he's he's pretty yeah, he's pretty sure that you saw him, yeah. mm, yeah, it looked like she was like a bit off on her timing. Yes, they it's close to that area. Yeah. Yes, he did. Yes. Yes. Mm, hmm. Me. I mean, I'm seeing something. Yeah, like I'm seeing something with a woman. Molly. Oh. Um. Yeah, I think it is her. Oh my god. Yeah, he felt like it was worth the risk. Yeah. Mm, he kind of already had a feeling too, and probably yeah. Yeah, he's not mad or anything. They are they're currently trying to still figure it out. That's kind of what the conflict is right now. He kind of doesn't want to go. And yeah. Nope. Mm, I mean, I see an incentive for her to do that, but that would be extreme. Okay, I am. Yeah, I mean, I am seeing something about binding someone to each other. Yeah. It seems like they've been kind of moving around. Like they like to keep things moving. Tonight seems like they're somewhere like related to food. It would probably be like a quick stop type place. Probably it might be more like a gas station or something. Yeah. Who else lives there? So is she like just by herself or something? Because I do see that they were at like a home location, but then it seems like one, probably him, like just went back on the move. Probably it seems as though they're kind of fighting about everything. Oh. Oh, okay. So does everyone know about this medical thing yet, or because that's what I'm mainly getting is it seems as though news is spreading. Yeah. Yes, it's starting to spread like the news. um he's like basically what I'm saying is he's trying to like do damage control, but I don't think that's gonna like work. I think She's about to. I don't think she knows yet. Yeah, like connecting the dots. It's showing undetermined, like 50-50. She would have to get it checked out. With yeah, you definitely made a good call there. With him, it's not like showing, but he needs to go get it. What's the birthday? She looks safe. Yeah, she would need to get checked. A follow-up wouldn't hurt, but I don't see anything like bad with you. Um, it's hard for me to really understand, like, men when it comes to that. I mean, he doesn't seem to regret it. He's just like, I had to do it. Mainly the infection thing. Like, he really doesn't want rumors to spread everywhere. No. It's showing under 2 weeks. It's mainly more like less intense stuff. So yeah, like oral. There's occasional money involved. There has been at least one threesome. Yes. Yeah, I'm getting, yeah. It's probably why it was just like one time that I'm seeing. Seems like it was about 2 months ago. Shelly seems good, but I think for this situation, just everyone should get checked. Yeah, I mean, he's here pulling his pants down, saying, "Yeah, I'm fine." He hasn't. Well, it seems he kind of has no choice but to do it very soon, but it seems like he's still gonna like kind of fight it. So within the week. Yeah, he'll reach out to you. Yes. Yeah, the guilt. Oh my god. Fuck. Hmm. Okay, so I'm already at 500. So I'm already at 500. Hmm. Hey. It's okay. Yeah, but you were asking why he would like lie to you. Well, it's mostly kind of it's just kind of childish. Like he didn't want to mess up what he had going on, like coming to terms with that. Yeah, and like everything, like his situation, because if everyone's put on notice, that kind of changes how he'd be able to really behave with all of you. He kind of knows that once he gives that kind of confirmation that as far as he's concerned it's like, oh, he feels like it's over for him. Yes. He does, but it's like he has these moments where it's just not his upper brain that's like really working sometimes. I would let it play out at this point because it does seem like the news is traveling on its own by now. there is an issue there when it comes to like mutual, honest love. Yes. He doesn't really love in a way that would like make sense to most normal people. He does hold you in a way higher regard because both of you've been through a lot together. So I think his love is more fond with you. Yeah. There was an event that did seem to like really affect how he viewed sex. Well, with his current behavior and that kind of background, it does track. Like anytime that kind of stuff has come up, it does usually point to something bad that happened at home. When he was younger, yes. Yeah. Mm. It seems he's being careful about that. I don't think she would have to worry, no. It may be something unrelated to this. I don't think it'll be other women. It's gonna be something that. Yeah. Ye- Hey, I do keep seeing imagery revolving around like trophy keeping, so she probably will uncover something. Right now, it seems like it's a countdown to 10 weeks. Yeah, right now he's at his place. She's there. I think she kind of takes after him and compartmentalizes. Oh my god. I thought we had 10. Mm-hmm. The shadow groove may never come undone. Oh my god, why can't I message her? I went through every card. Oh my god. Oh, I think it's because she's out of messages. If you want the money. If you want the money. If you want the money. Just put the money in the bag, bro.